This is a super exciting evening. Tonight we are going to have Bob Main. He is going to talk about how to get in the game and develop our internet and social media strategy.
So the challenge I have is that some of you in this room are still not convinced that this internet and this social media thing is something you need to be involved in. As I was even talking to folks at the table, they said, you know what? I don't have a Facebook page. I don't want a Facebook page. I don't care if Aunt Gussie got her nails done yesterday. I don't want people to know what I'm doing, that I'm cleaning out the garage. I don't care. What we have to do is we have to separate that and recognize that your patients, your prospective patients, they are online. They do care that Aunt Gussie got her nails done. And that's what Facebook is all about. It's a social involvement, a social discussion. Yeah, they're sharing pictures of the grandkids. But what we can do, and the thing we have to learn how to do, is tap into that social engagement so that we can grow our practice. And I'm here to tell you it can happen. It's not that difficult. And if you can tap into that, it's really powerful. We need to recognize that your patients are online. They're on Facebook. They're doing social media already. And we want to go and be there with them. If you took everybody that was doing social media online around the world and you put them together as a country, they'd be the third largest populated country in the world. That's a lot of people. And if you look at Facebook, I have to update this slide about every week. They now have 750 million people on Facebook, and 50% of them are on daily, spending hours engaging, talking with their friends, and so forth. That's where your patients are. That's where we need to be. So look, here's the deal. And I don't want to get too philosophical, but we have to recognize that people are changing. So they're changing the way they buy shoes. Just ask Zappos that says $1 billion of shoes online. Who'd have thought 5 years ago you could buy shoes online? Don't you have to try them on? Don't you have to look at them, smell them, touch them? Yeah, you do. But yet 17% of all shoes sold in the U.S. are sold online. People are changing the way they get movies. Everything's stringed down now, or they go down and they get them at the little red box down at the 7-Eleven. And people are changing the way they do things. And you know what? People are changing the way they shop for eyeglasses. I'm not saying that they're changing the way they buy eyeglasses, because that's pretty slow, but it's coming. But they changed the way. They want to look at designer names. They want to get directions to your office. They want to know your office hours. They want to know who's in a 20-mile radius that sells Diane von Gucci. And this is the kind of stuff they're going to the internet to find out. If they're on the internet, we need to be there. So my question to you tonight is this. If people are changing the way they shop for eyewear, and there's tons of statistics to back that up, my question to you is, what are you doing differently in your practice or your optical business today than you were 6 months ago to meet that changing need? Just ask Blockbuster. I wrote an article on my blog not too long ago. It's called Don't Fall Prey to the Blockbuster Syndrome. And Blockbuster was this behemoth company that was renting almost 80% of all videos that were being rented was going through Blockbuster. They thought they owned the world. Nobody could topple them. And this little company called Redbox came along. I know some friends that were in the management team of Blockbuster, and they said they laughed at Redbox when they came along. But Blockbuster wasn't willing to change to meet the needs of the consumer, and now they've gone bankrupt. And the same thing is happening in industry after industry. And so my point is this. If we don't change, if we don't go where the consumers are, if we don't go where your patients are, we're going to have some difficulty growing our practice as we go. All right, so what are the benefits of having a good online presence? Why should I spend time and effort and money and resources having this online presence? Here's the beautiful thing, and this is social media in particular. I just am astounded at the power of this. It allows you to stay engaged with your patients while they're outside of the buying cycle. So think about this, all right? So Jobson research has shown us that people buy glasses every 2.2 years. You maybe less in your practice. But every 2.2 years, people wake up and they go, oh, I need an exam, I need glasses, and they go someplace to get them. What happens during the time they're not thinking about eyeglasses? So for a couple of years, they're not. But guess what? They're being bombarded by LensCrafters commercials, free lenses. They're being bombarded by that place that sells glasses 10 for $99. And they're online, and they get from Coastal Contacts thousands of free pairs of glasses. Have you seen that? And they're getting bombarded by this. And subconsciously, it's there. And when they do wake up every 2.2 years, they're thinking, now wait a minute, I bought glasses from Dr. Smith last time, and it was $400, but I saw you can get glasses for $99. And they're tempted. Let's not be naive. They're tempted to check it out. And they're thinking, yeah, I've gone there all my life, but wow, $99, what's the difference? And some of your patients will check it out. So they're tempted to sway away. Here's the magic of social media. You now have the opportunity to stay engaged, stay connected with them while they're outside of the buying cycle. And yeah, that other stuff's going to go on, the LensCrafters commercial, all those things, but you've stayed engaged. You kept your brand in front of them at a minimal cost, minimal effort, and we're staying connected. So when they wake up in 2.2 years, they don't even think about those other places. They go, oh, got to call Dr. Smith. I need eyeglass. My arms are getting too short. I got to go. And they immediately come to you because you've stayed connected with them. You may not have the millions of dollars to run TV ads to keep your brand name in front of them, but you do have the resources to stay connected online. So that, to me, is probably the most powerful thing. We're going to talk about how you do that. Shorten the buying cycle. Wow, I have worked with company and practice after practice where we have proven that if you do a good online engagement while they're outside of the buying cycle, you can shorten that. So it's not 2.2 years anymore now. It's every 1 year they're buying a pair. Every 6 months. Because you're giving them ideas about new trends, new fashion, new fancy Dan Hoya lenses. And you talk to them constantly and give them ideas, and it'll shorten the buying cycle. I've seen it happen. The other really cool thing that it will do is it gives you a chance at a very low cost to bring new people into the practice. Facebook is a wonderful platform to advertise, those banners off to the right side. You can do that at such a low-cost engagement. It's unbelievable. And you can manage it, and you can see who's coming on and who's clicking on. So it's a low-cost way to bring new people to your Facebook page. So I can hear most of you now. All right, great. I understand. I've been thinking for a while now we need to do something. Where do we start? This is overwhelming. You got Twitter, you got blogs, you got Facebook. How am I going to do all that? We have a busy practice. I don't have time to do all that stuff. Here's what I'm going to recommend to you. Not get overwhelmed. Not worry about all those different things. Let's adopt a crawl, walk, run strategy. And in the crawl strategy, what you're going to do is just focus on 3 or 4 things. Not worry about the Twitter, not worry about the blog, not worry about any of that. Yeah, we're going to do that further down the road, but let's get a foundation going. My suggestion, what I like to recommend, is let's get a good Facebook page. A killer Facebook page that's engaging. And I'm going to show you in just a few minutes what it takes to have a good Facebook page. And you can go back and improve yours tonight. I'm going to show you what it takes to have a good website, the things that you have. There's about 6 or 7 things that you must have on your website in order for it to be engaging and to help grow your practice. You also need to have a good strategy and a good plan, and I'll talk about that. If you've got the crawl stage down, and by the way, I must say, I work with a lot of people in our industry. 99% of the people in our industry are in the crawl stage. So if you're in the crawl stage and you don't have a killer Facebook page, you don't have a killer website, you're not alone. A lot of people don't. But let's figure that out. Let's get started, and then we can go to the walk, and then we can go to the run.